Okay, cool. So really quickly, obviously this breakout session is about how do you record a lecture and how do you make it accessible to the students. And so we're going to go through three things: one, recording; second, uploading and possibly editing it; and then three, publicizing it and making it accessible to students. The three things you really need to do this is: one, you need QuickTime, which should be an app that you already have. If you guys could press Command and Spacebar right now and just type in QuickTime and see if you have that. And then at the last part, we'll practice doing it, and hopefully it all makes sense. The second, you should have PowerPoint or any presenting program like Keynote. You could even use a document. You can use a doc cam. You can use anything to record, as long as it has connection, or as long as it's on your computer or connected to your computer. And lastly, you need a YouTube account that you feel comfortable sharing with the students, because wherever your video is going to be uploaded to, it's going to need to be accessed there. So if you have like old high school videos or like old videos that you made before that you kind of don't want the students to see, either put those on private or just create a new account for your teaching self. And so so we're going to go into this. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself or throw it in the chat. Yes, go ahead, Kim. Question?
So are we not using streams? Because I know like when you're done recording here, it goes into streams.
Yes. So that is another option, and I'll talk about that at the end. But this is more about pre-recording lectures versus in-house recording lectures.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And I could talk about the in-house recording at the end part of it, and that's actually a good point. Let me just make a note of that real quick. Okay, so again, back to just how we're going to set this up. So the recording part of it, I'm going to open up the programs, and I'm going to share with you guys my screen in terms of what I am doing. Let's do that. Okay, cool. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is open your program. So I'm going to open up QuickTime. And QuickTime is open. You can see it right here. Okay, it doesn't pop up with some like new document or anything like that. And then you're going to open a PowerPoint. So I'm going to open up a, let's use that PowerPoint that I was using. That boring presentation thing that with the baby pictures and stuff like that. And then you're going to use YouTube later. So these are two programs that you're going to use. So the first part is testing your mic and making sure that works. So what I would do on QuickTime is I'm going to click File, and you have a couple options. So new movie recording, which will use your webcam, new audio recording, which will use your mic, and then new screen recording, which will use, which will screen capture your whatever you're trying to present. And so you're going to click new screen recording, and to test your mic, you're going to click this bottom arrow, and it's going to choose microphone. The default is none. So what I ended up doing the first couple times that I tried is I kept forgetting to put microphone. I kept forgetting to test it. So I was done presenting, and then all I'm doing is seeing this like recorded like presentation just go from slide to slide to slide with no audio. So what you're going to do is choose whichever mic that you're going to use. Now, most of you should have the internal microphone, which is your laptop microphone. And how you can test it is you just talk, and that'll show you the levels. You want to keep it in this like almost 3/4 range. Okay. I am using this as a recording thing, so it kind of keeps it a little bit, it's just the quality, but you just want to make sure that the mic works. So as long as you're talking, it moves. And then you're going to, every time I do this, I'm a little paranoid, so I don't want to do a 30-minute lecture and then realize I have to mess up just because I've done it so many times. So I'm going to do a test run. So what I would do is I'd click record. And here you're presented with two options. You can either record everything in this full screen. So if I click, it's going to record like these sides, this top, and everything. But if I want to record just the PowerPoint, I can actually click and drag, and anything in this vicinity of the screen will be captured. Now, if you probably can't see it right now, but um, our Teams meeting is in this bottom corner, so it's going to capture that for now. Normally that wouldn't be there. So the moment that happens, you click start recording. And I'm just going to go ahead and start talking. So this is test, 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 1, 2, 3. And then to end it, you're going to go to this top part where this little square in the circle is, okay? And you're going to stop it. It automatically pops up, okay? And so the moment that happens, I'm just going to make sure my voice is working. So I don't think you can hear what's coming from the computer. Maybe you can, but it does work. So the audio was working. So I'm going to close it, and I can delete it or save it. Okay. So obviously, if you want to save it, you title it presentation 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then you could save it. Okay. I don't need it right now. And so that's how you basically record. Now, there's just a couple of things that I'd point out when I'm recording. And so one more time, I'm just going to go through it, but I'm going to just go through the 7-slide thing. So I'm going to go new screen recording.
Lou, maybe
yes,
it might just be on my screen. So but I'm not seeing any. Oh, okay. Okay. Did you just open up screen recording?
I just opened up this.
Okay.
This right here.
Now I'm seeing it. I wasn't seeing anything before. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So file, new screen recording, test your mic, and then I'm going to record. So if I'm going to record full screen, I just click and it automatically starts. The moment you see this up here lighten up, it means that it's recording and it's working. So one of the things that I would say is make sure you're speaking consistently into the microphone, or at least at a consistent level. It'll make sure that the students obviously get what they need to hear. The second thing that I would say is mess ups are okay. You're going to do this, and the first few times that you go through this lecture or you go through this process, you are going to mess up a lot. And I caught myself every time I messed up, I would like go back again, and I just realized that mess ups were okay, and that if you're going to do this, like, it's okay to do it, unless you're trying to publicize it to I don't know, some teaching blog or something, and make it a formal submission of some kind. So mess ups are okay. And then once you're done, and the cool thing about this is you can actually go through it pretty quick, because students can pause your video at any time and then just take notes on whatever's on there or what you just said. So you can go through it pretty quickly, and obviously have the students write down any questions and send them to you afterwards. So again, stopping the presentation or stopping the recording is up here. Everything in the red is being captured, by the way. Actually, everything in the red is being captured for Teams. So click stop, and then that should pop up, right? So this is my video of everything that just happened. So the recording part's actually pretty easy. Sometimes though, you want to cut some stuff. I'll talk about editing and possible editing later. Okay. Are there any questions about the recording part of it? No questions? Dope. So the next part is uploading. Actually, I do need to have something recorded real quick, so I'm just going to do this really quickly. And okay, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to save this as test recording 1 and on my desktop. And then once I'm done with that, I can just close that, because I'm going to go ahead and do my upload now. Okay, so in my upload, so starting the second part of this, the uploading, is you're going to need to log into your YouTube account. for me, this is the YouTube account that I upload all of my school stuff to. In this top right corner right here is your upload or go live. Okay. I'm not going live. I'm just going to upload the video. And then you can drag or drop. So that's usually an easy way if you have easy access to it, right? So I think it's test recording 1 right here. I can drag it and drop it in here, and it should upload it. Okay. Or the other option is for you to select file, and then you can either search for it. So test recording 1, just in case you can't find it. And then it should pop up. Hopefully. Guess not. Or let me go to my desktop. Go to desktop. Test recording 1 right here. Okay, and then open it. So you either drag and drop or select the file. Okay, once it's uploaded, you're going to do a few things and walk through the steps. They're pretty self-explanatory. You're going to title it the way you want to title it. You can do a description if you want to. Thumbnail is actually kind of important, I would think, just because. Oh, dang it. Okay, because I uploaded 2. So this is the one I'm going to be doing. Okay, so they'll give you options in terms of what you want to use as your thumbnail. Now, sometimes they choose, like it just chooses random parts of the video, or you can upload a thumbnail to make it a little bit clearer on what it's about. So let's just say I use this, which is what I was using for our team's introduction video. Okay. You could throw onto a playlist if you have, like, I have a civil liberties skits kind of playlist in there. You can create playlists. Here, the audience is kind of important. So yes, it's made for kids, or no, it's not made for kids. And so this, I usually just do no, because when you click yes, it talks about certain notifications or certain things aren't available for kids, and so this gives you some more freedom. I don't think it's a big deal either way. Then you are going to the most important part right here is you're going to go to visibility. And so the difference between these 3, so it's going to save or publish, but you're going to either choose public, unlisted, or private. So public means everyone can see it, everyone can search for it, everyone can access your video. Unlisted means it'll give you a link. Well, you're gonna have a link either way, right? Unlisted means you'll have a link that anyone you send to will have access to it as long as they have this link. And the third is private. So private is those are the videos that are just for yourself. And so usually I would click unlisted if it's for the students. If I want other people to be able to see it because I think it's a good video, I'll put it in public, but I'll usually set it as unlisted. I don't schedule that, but you could if you want to roll them out slowly. Kids aren't really like looking for it necessarily. So if you leave it unlisted and you don't schedule, you should be fine. And then you're going to click save. So this is a link that you have, right? And so that's the uploading part of it. It's super easy. You can use YouTube. You can use Vimeo. There's a couple other ways that you can upload it to a site that has more storage. And I like doing that because these are videos that I would upload and then I delete because sometimes the videos take in an enormous amount of storage. And if you do it often or a little, it'll rack up. These the QuickTime files can be up to like a gig or 2 gigs just for a 20-30 minute thing. The Teams and the Zoom tutorials that I did, those were like, I think it was like 1.5 or 2 gigs each. So just for the screen recording. And so that could rack up, especially if you do it every so often. So yeah, if there's no questions about uploading, I'm going to move on to the next part.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Well, two actually. So like, there's no way to upload it from QuickTime, like just straight to like, let's say PowerSchool.
You might be able to, not to PowerSchool. You might be able to link your QuickTime to YouTube. I think that is an let's see. Like, let's just say I have this file. Actually, let me just try this real quick. You might be able to, not directly to PowerSchool. And the reason, and I'm going to talk about publicizing it and making it accessible in a second, and the reason that YouTube's actually pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah.
And then, and my second question related to that, or my concern was like when we click the option on YouTube for Unlisted, like only you provide them the link, right? So then,
exactly.
Does that mean so only they can see it? But can they take the link and like publicize it and like make it accessible to everybody?
Yes, they can.
Okay. But they won't. You never had any experience like that?
No, I mean, my lectures are pretty boring. So, I mean, it's a lecture. It's not anything that entertaining. So,
all right, cool.
Yeah. So in this, so you could see, I just did this really quick screen recording. You can click share and throw it onto YouTube right away if you want to. But I don't think you can go into a specific website other than YouTube just because it's so streamlined.
Okay. Sounds good. Perfect. Thank you.
Any more questions about uploading or recording if you didn't ask on recording? Cool. So the third part is publicizing. I talk about sending the YouTube link directly, right? That's always really easy and really efficient. If you're like, hey, I'm just going to send this right here. I'm going to get shareable link. It's copied to my clipboard, which means I could just Command V it anywhere. So I can literally just go to Jupyter and go new message. And I could just go, hey, check out lecture on, boom, easy, right? The second one is embedding. Now, this is actually one of my favorite parts of using YouTube, and you might be able to embed within straight through PowerSchool with the actual link. But again, I like putting it on YouTube because if PowerSchool shuts down or we move to our next class, you lose that. You know, you have the potential to lose that, and I like to make sure I have access to all of my videos. So let's just say I am uploading to Gov. And so one of the ways you'll see it that I've done it is this, right? So I can, on my PowerSchool page, I can click it. And so you can't do that if you just go on page text. Or at least I don't think you can, right? If you just put the link there, you're not going to be able to get them to see it, because if I post that right here, actually I need to, it just posts as a link. Oh, where'd it go? Right here, test. Let me just move this up here. Okay. I mean, the option that you can do is you can go on page text and you can go test 2, right? And you can go click here, and then you can select it and you can throw a link on there and you can go boom. So now when they click it, okay, it keeps doing that. Sorry, I need to put in block placement. Right, so you click it, it'll take you to the YouTube video. Okay. And then the third version is to embed. So if you look here, embed the web, it's going to ask you for a piece of code. Okay, and you're going to paste that code in here. Now, the code is not the website link. It's going to either give you an error or it's going to say, yeah, it doesn't recognize it. So what you have to do is go on YouTube. You're going to click the file, and you're going to go to more options, allow embedding. Okay, make sure that's, oops, that says allow embedding. And then you are going to find the embedding Actually, you could probably just go to the file. Let me see. Let me just see this. Where'd it go? Okay. I believe it's share. There we go. There we go. Yep. So on your video, and you can embed any video actually. So it doesn't even have to be yours, right? You're going to go to share, you're going to embed, and you're going to take this, copy it. Okay. Or you just click this and it'll copy everything anyways. You can even choose where you want it to start at. You're going to go to your PowerSchool. You're going to paste that. Click next. You're going to call it test 3. Let's go block placement and let's be smart this time and put at the top. And there you go, right? So 3 different versions. One plays straight from here. Create a link that they're clickable here, and then you could just even post it so that they copy and paste it. So it's all accessible in that PowerSchool. Any questions about PowerSchool?
I don't have a question about PowerSchool, Lou, but so QuickTime is a way to record your sessions. Is that the way that you usually use, or do you ever just record yourself on, I guess, what would have been Zoom? Like just record your session early and then post it, or do you usually do? Okay.
So I'll go and I'll share with you guys that after we're done with this in terms of like recording like this session and how I would use it.
Okay.
So, and then obviously you can post your link to that here. That's the embed. So I wonder if you can actually directly embed here. No, you can't. It's still the link, so you would click it on your Teams. I just don't like how this is posted and everything. So it's kind of, it would create some clutter. So, yeah. So that's like how to go about it in that way. In terms of like recording on QuickTime, throwing it on there. Again, that like means there's no audience. It's just you and the PowerPoint or you and the video. And I'm going to get into how I would record and use this via Teams in like a minute. I don't know if you guys wanted to test it out, or if you guys want to try that out, or if you wanted me to just go to Teams, go to the Teams thing right now, and then you guys can test it out at the end when there's like a few more minutes left. We good to just move to Teams?
I would say yes.
Cool. All right. So if there's no questions, I'll show you guys how this would work in recording, and I'll actually show you how I did it yesterday. So yesterday I did a recorded video, and so this is the meeting right here. I'm doing this mini podcast kind of thing with some students, and so I'm recording them, we're just talking, having some fun with it. And so this is the recorded. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to let me pause this really quickly. Once I'm done recording here, so you would, I am on Teams right now. So actually, let me show you this. So on my screen, more actions, I started recording here earlier, right? And so whenever you want to start, you click the 3 dots, start recording. And then when you're done recording, you click stop recording. It doesn't give you an option to download the file right away. What it does is it processes the whole video. You don't even get any control of it. And it's actually kind of crappy quality too. But it does show you everything that was on your screen. And then if it was just you and another person, or you and 3 or 4 other people, it'll actually show you how, it'll actually split it for you and make it evenly split for the video. So it's not just like one person the whole time. This is the video and the recorded part of it. And so you could start a session. You could start a session and not start recording until halfway in. You don't have to record the whole meeting, which is like a nice part. You can record the sections that you'd like. The moment that you're done with this and it uploads to this thing called Stream. And so Microsoft Stream takes all of those things and puts the audio and the video quality together. Obviously, when you're looking at Microsoft Teams, it doesn't look like this, right? It looks like you're in the small box and then the person's big. Then from here, you can, so this is a Microsoft Stream where it has uploaded. Okay, and here it does a really cool thing. It actually does a transcript for you. I didn't get to look too much into it, but it's pretty it's pretty good. It's actually pretty accurate. I think it's just as good as the captions thing that we have on our video meeting. But from here, you can share. From here, you can, from this 3 dots, you can download. You could trim it. You can upload details. You can add it to a group or channel. You could delete it. And so you're going to be able to do that and then post it from here. So you can still, I want to say you can still embed this. Yep, there we go. Okay, so you can still embed this. So let's just say I want to put this on my PowerSchool. I'm going to copy that. And so you could do that and embed here too. And
quick question.
Go for it.
When you stop recording, where's like the first place it shows up in the main chat?
That's a really good question. So it will show up in 2 places. It'll show up in the channel that you were recording it in, and it'll show up in your email actually. So it'll give you a little dealio. Let me see if I could pull up my email. So in my email, let's see, it should say Microsoft Stream. It was yesterday, right here. So Microsoft, what is going on? Oh, it's populating. So Microsoft Stream right here. Your meeting recording is here. And from here, you can click it. It took maybe about 30 minutes or 40 minutes afterwards, I think, or at least that's when I checked it afterwards. I tried clicking it right away and it wasn't letting me. It took about 30 or 40 minutes for it to actually fully render and be ready for me to click and to watch. So it'll show up in an email and then it'll show up on the channel, which is what I clicked it on this first time, right? General right here. So, yeah, so I mean, either way is good. Obviously, one way has no distractions, and the second way is you could do it here and not have to worry about, or you could do it here and then be able to answer questions and ask this. So at the end, this is all recording. It's going to be put together on the stream on Microsoft Stream, and then we're going to share it with everyone, and it's going to have all of you asking questions and yeah, so people will be able to see those too. Cool. Any other questions? I'm going to stop recording so you guys can see it. So stop recording.